Hi guys, welcome to the builder's review of the Racer X. Now as you can see, I have again got a little ahead of myself, but this isn't a build video, it is a builder's review, so that'll be the reason that I've got ahead of myself. I just wanted at this stage just to run through the items that I will be using in my build and to talk about putting the frame together to the point where we're at here. Nylon screws, black nylon screws, really high quality. These are very nice. The standoffs that are in between the threaded standoffs, very nice quality. Also nice quality nuts. If you do have a crash, there's a good chance that your frame, your arms and so on are going to survive on the Racer X, because the nuts and so on should be a weak point. I understand there will be some spares in the kit, but these can be purchased very cheaply, so make sure you've got a bag and the correct screwdriver and spanner with you, and within minutes your frame can be up and running again and your beautiful carbon frame is still in one piece. I've gone for the KK board because it's the only board that I've actually got spare at the moment. I didn't really want to put the Vector on a Mini. That'll be going on the budget quad, which is over in the corner there. So to get to this stage, it really is nice and quick. You'll see I've popped a little bit of Nylock thread locker in the nylon nuts. I've also used a little bit of this fuel tubing as a vibration dampener between the plate and the KK board. And I'm going to mount my 7-channel orange RX there, and the wires. There is a top plate which is to one side. But I won't actually be applying the top plate until we go and put the FPV gear on board. So it goes that way round. That'll sandwich that down, and there's some standoffs here which go through to allow clearance for the KK control and whatnot. So this will be going on at a later stage. I think it goes kind of there. I may actually zip tie that up there yet. I have it fixed down here at one point just to test it, as you can see by the remains of the sticky pad. So pop that over to one side. It has been notched out, you can see here. This is actually for the CCD killer camera from Fat Shark. I nearly said Black Shark then, cross between Black Sheep and Fat Shark. So yeah, that pops in there. I'm actually going to be running it FPV, and this is the FEO camera that I've got on test from Shore 24. I'm doing a night vision project with this camera because it's incredible at night. It's going on other quads. This is a little heavy for a 250 build, but I've got to be honest, I love the image so much, and I fancy a little night flight. We're going to just make some sort of little setup for it inside there. It's running a 2.5 lens on here as well with superb optical quality, so that'll be nice for the FPV. Right, let's pop this to one side. So KK 2, it's not a 1.5, it's a KK 2.8. 12 amp Afro ESCs and a Cobra 1960 kV, which are capable of 4S. Now this is a racing quad. I'm going to run this 4S. The new Afro ESCs are also capable of 4S. Now I have heard that there can be some refresh issues or rate issues or timing issues with these two together. Notably on the 2300 version and the 2400 versions is where most of the issues are coming. I think they will run and play with the 1960 straight out of the packet. But if there are any issues, we're going to take a look at that and see if it needs updating to another Simon K software. So if I come across that, I will be running through it. I'm going to pair these together. It's not going to be the tidiest build because I am going to be using this on my prototype, which is being it's in its final stages at the moment. We've got a limited amount of money and items, so these items will be coming off after the testing and review. And from what I know about the Racer X already, as soon as we've got some spare kit, that'll be going back in that, because that is definitely going to be part of our frame run up that we use regularly. I'm not actually gonna run the camera while I do this, but I've got a really, really neat way of building your own power supply hookup for these. Instead of running like a loom and everything, I've got a really neat and simple design that cuts down a lot of the wires and clutter. So what I'll do when I've done that, I'll come back to you and then I'll just talk you through how simple it is and how easy it is to do. These arms are cut with holes in for the ESCs to go in, and that gets them out there, it gets them loads of cooling. But because I need to use these again for one reason, I'm going to be putting mine inboard, which I also think is going to help the aerodynamics. You can imagine when this is in this orientation, going through it, these holes are going to offer less wind resistance, and by putting the ESC in, it's going to turn them back into solid arms. So I wanted to try them inboard with my unique way of putting the ESCs together, just to see if it does improve the fast forward speed and so on. So that's a quick run up of what's coming next. I'm going to crack on with the build and I will see you guys in a moment. Okay guys, I just thought we'd just stop quickly at this this junction. Very, very simple. We've managed to cut off lots of wire, which is all weight on these little mini quads, so that's a good thing. And we've just made up a really, really simple link up. Now I used 2 pieces of double-sided sticky foam, or draft excluder if you like, to hold everything together, because these flop around all over the place and it makes things very difficult. So get them lined up like you're going to have them on the copter, because you won't be able to do it once you've cut the wires down and soldered this together. So get them as you're going to want them. Now I put 4 black out this side and the 4 red out this side. I tinned them together and then took a 3.5mm bullet connector and soldered that onto 4 one side and the minus on the other side. Nice and simple. The standard heat shrink for the 4mm goes over the top of these, or for the 3.5mm, and there you have it. Now that is nice and tidy, I'm sure you'll agree. You've got nice clear access to these. Make sure that when you're cutting everything to length, that you leave these accessible. These are all going to fold off round one side, so let's just lay those down out the side for out the way for a second. And then what I've done, I've just made a very simple pigtail. This could actually be shorter, but I left it long just so you can see how everything works. So there you are. These have got 3.5 mils. Make sure you're poking them into the right side, of course. And that on the other side. And then what we'll do, we'll simply lay them facing up this side, like so, or this end, depending on how you've, you know, how your design requires it. And then just have those zip ties to the copter out at those angles. Now it's nice and simple, no fancy wiring looms or anything like that. This is one of my top tips, using the bullets to put wire things together. If you've got larger wires, then you use larger bullets, but very, very simple. No need for a complicated wiring loom, provided you can get all your ESCs close enough together. So there we go. And then once your battery, we're going to be using a 4S1000 battery. Once you've got your battery in place, it's very easy just to connect those up. Keeps it nice and tidy. You won't have the wires coming out the side like you do on some builds. So there you go. Right, I'm going to carry on attaching the motors and getting everything else back on the copter. I'll probably pick this one up, unless I think of anything else interesting to share with you. I'll pick this up towards the end of the build. Okay guys, here we are, the Racer X. This build won't be as tidy as you'll be able to achieve, but I do want to use these motors on another project. Money's very tight at the moment, so I'm taking all the stuff off of something, putting it on something, and then moving it over. So the ESCs are intended to go inside the arms, but as you know, as I said a moment ago, I wanted to fit them on the bottom. I've used the double-sided foam to fix these securely to the bottom of the frame. Now usually your battery would go in there. We're using a 1000 milliamp 4S for testing. Usually it would go there where they are. So I'm going to have to work out something just to lift these off of those and secure that under there. As you can see the pigtail setup that we made for the battery connection, nice and tidy. I will tidy these wires up as best as I can for the testing and the final part of the review for this. But let's just talk about where we're up to so far. Just spun the Cobra motors up, not related to the frame, but just thought I'd mention it now. These Cobra motors, absolutely fantastic. I'm really absolutely blown away with the power that these. I put them on 3-cell and then 4-cell, just to see if there was any vibrations or noisy bearings, and they're ever so quiet, and they're also, they sound like this is just going to, you know, it's going to be ballistic. Couldn't get my words out then. So yeah, we've got the orange 7 channel set up on the back there. Not to be forgotten is the shell that's going to go over and protect it all. But as I'm using a KK board, I want to program it so this is staying off from now. You may have seen a little bit of flex in it. When this is on and that's all bolted down, there is a lot less flex in the chassis. That tightens it all up. But there's a little hole in the top here for the part that comes with the Mobius. I haven't got it to hand, but the Mobius tripod mount, if you like, fits through there, and you can fix it on. So that's nice. Means you don't have to Velcro it. It will go in its proper tray, and you can clip it in and out as you will. So plenty of room up the top here for cameras and FPV gear. There's also holes and locations for putting a standard board camera in as well. So yeah, after I've done all the tuning, that'll be going on, and I'll give you a couple of pictures with it all completed, and I will do my best to tidy these wires away somewhat so that it looks like it should if you follow the traditional mounting position for the ESCs and so on. That's it guys, really high quality components so far, pleased with everything. I haven't had to fettle anything at all, everything's gone together very well. So CNC machined and designed in the USA. There's no sort of Chinese mismatch on this. It's very, very good so far. Next piece of this review will be from me looking out the window now. It's looking like we're going to be in a multi-storey car park because typical British weather, it's pouring down. Hi guys, here we are at the car park. It's absolutely tearing down with rain outside, so we are going to crack on with this now. Start to do the first hovers, and as you can see I've still got the top plate off because we're going to do some tuning. So the next footage you'll see will be the Maiden of this copter. Okay guys, you may have noticed that we're in a different part of the car park, and that's because I crashed it, and I crashed it really hard, so hard that the Mobius SD card ejected, and it looked like I'd broken an arm, and I was thinking, oh look man, I mean I don't know any quad that would have survived the crash, I had to be fair. On closer inspection, due to the design of this copter, I broke 3 nylon bolts and 2 props. About 10 minutes at home and she's back up and running, and if I'd have had the bits with me here out in the car park or in the car with me, I could have had myself back up and running in 5 minutes, no problem, and then back out flying. So Unfortunately, this will be the first Mobius footage you're going to see. Let's get it back in the air. Hopefully I'll manage to try to contain the power of the 1960 kVs on 4S and Gen Fan 3s. This is the Racer X. Put a fresh battery in and see if I can get a couple of speed runs. The car park is still live, so I've got to make sure I keep my eyes peeled. My spotter's going to do the rest. Guys, I'm having a real hard time orientating that way, so I'm going to see if it's any better that way. Okay guys, enough's enough. I've just landed in a puddle. Looks like the Mobius is running, so we'll have some footage of that. Fuck my boots, this is fast. It's so quick. It's so quick. Down there's a load of darkness, and up there's a load of darkness, and I just couldn't orientate properly once it had got away from me. But I promise I will be back out with this in the daytime. We'll get you some proper speed runs, and if you're interested in looking at this frame and seeing when it comes out, there'll be links to the Facebook page down below this video. But as far as the build goes and that adrenaline filled first flight, it's a definite thumbs up. The Racer X. I just hope I haven't fucked it. Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West. Fucking puddles.